Good morning, campers. Before we kick off today's video, I just want to say sorry for not posting in the last few weeks, but we've been cracking on with it. We haven't had time to keep posting videos. I also do want to say there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to see in this video, i.e. grinding, welding. I just want to point out, be very careful when you're doing the things that you see in our videos. So let's crack on. What we're doing is we're fabricating some of the tinware on the engine because some bits of tin you just can't get for these vans anymore. So you've got to make it yourself or make do with what you got. In this first section, you're going to see us drawing the first piece. It'll look to you like a square, but basically it gets cut, and then you'll see us tack it to the tin, heat it up, and then effectively beat it into shape. I'll let you carry on watching.
Is that lens okay with welding?
That's fine now. Should be alright. Just get it more perfect.
What we told.
This next piece that we had to fabricate was a little bit more difficult. As you can see, it's like a triangle, but you've also got to take into account that it bends round with the tin work. So we had to do a few pie cuts, if you will, so like a few triangles, and try and just make it fit. Do you remember when I said earlier to be very careful of what you're doing? Well, somebody didn't listen to the advice, did they? Somebody forgot to put the gloves on. You'll see.
Let's pop that, Josh. Yeah, that's really hot,
Now we're welding that triangle together. Like I said, please wear the appropriate PPE, i.e. your gloves and your mask. I stress about the mask because they reckon it's like having sand in your eyes if you get arc eye. So, this is a grinding disc, and he said let's change it to this one. A lump of metal hit me in the back of the leg and sent me dancing across the garage. So we won't use this one then. As you can see, we're linishing or grinding back the welds, or flatting if you will. So we've taken the welds and making it look like it blends in with the steel, just to give it more of an appealing look.
We can weld that up now. You probably like sewed it like that's strength rather than look, isn't it?
Now we're drawing the lip and cutting the lip to put onto the tinware, so that we can bolt the two pieces of tin together. Now we put a few cuts in the tin as it bends round, and then we're going to get it nice and hot and malleable, if you will, and beat it around just so that there's no sharp jagged edges.
as long as they're pretty much where they need to be, so I won't put any off yet. Where are we going to be with that one? Ooh, where's that go? Oh, that's right, that's right. So we can have a look at that now and see where that lands. Screw them together now. Have a look. No, it's not a million miles away. It's not far off at all. I mean, like I said, it's more function. I need it to just do the job. So I ain't too bothered about being pretty, and that looks pretty good. To be fair, really lucky with that. But this piece will always going to be a sod to make. To be honest with you, all the bends and curves and got on and everything.
To be honest, mate, I couldn't have said it better. If you didn't hear what he just said, he basically said that it's going to serve its purpose. It's going to be perfectly fine for what we need it for. It doesn't look the best, but it will work. I mean, you're not really going to see it because it's underneath the engine. It's right at the very back. So as long as it'll work, that's good enough, really. So now that the tin's all done and the engine can now go back together, it's time to get the transaxle nice and clean so we can spray that and get that bolted to the engine, and then it'll all look nice and pretty when it's done. As you can see, we've given the transaxle a real good clean, as good as we could anyway. I mean, some of this is just too labour intensive to get at, and there you can see we're just masking up the drive shafts. So as you can see, this is where the starter motor goes. Now it needs to stay as clean as possible, because it's the mating face of the starter motor, the negative if you will. So now we've primed it, we've used an etch primer, a zinc etch primer. Obviously, we have sprayed over this because it's just too difficult to mask, and we also wanted to make sure that we caught the corrosion before it got there, if you will, so we're preventing it. And then obviously once it's dried off, we'll clean it back to a nice clean finish so we can still get our negative for the starter motor. Unfortunately, I got a bit carried away and forgot to record us spraying the colour on the transaxle. So that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks ever so much for watching. Be sure to keep tuning in to see where we get with the van, and obviously the engine is going in very soon. Ta-ra.